sharing us what brought you into focused physical therapy?
Yeah. So I think it's about 2 or 3 years ago, for about 5 or 6 years, I was a jazzercise instructor. And a lot of that is, obviously dancing on stage and standing on your toes. And I was having a great deal of pain with plantar fasciitis, and just couldn't seem to get rid of it. Stretching really didn't help. Trying to take some time off didn't help. I really was just struggling. And my friend, my best friend, was working and knew of Brad and suggested I might go see him to help with some of that. So I called Brad up and basically he was like, yeah, come on in, we'll take a look. Started to do some physical therapy with him in regards to dry needling. But he said a lot of the issue, which I was surprised, was in my calves. That, with plantar fasciitis, that can pull, that, tight calves can pull and cause the muscles to contract and really cause that pain. So started to go see him and get treatment for that. And then he cured me.
Happy to hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
How bad was it and what impact was that having on your life?
So it was pretty bad. I mean, I would wake up in the morning and it would hurt. I'd have to really try to get it warmed up. And at the time I was teaching 5 a.m. classes. So literally I was waking up and having to force myself through the first, 10 minutes in pain for it to bother me. And it was awful. And really just, getting up and just having to, know that I'm okay. If I put my feet down, I'm going to have to really stretch it out and walk through this pain. I couldn't give a good performance per se. I felt like I wasn't able to provide the best workout to my clients at the time, because I'd be up there just kind of bearing and grinning through it until I couldn't anymore. And so really being able to get rid of that and have some good practices in play for the future to prevent that as well, and know what my triggers are for that to happen really has helped out. And I have not had any issues since, and it's been about, I think, 3 or 4 years.
That's great. What else did you try that didn't work?
Everything. I tried the frozen water bottle, which that was a piece that helped, right? I did try some rolling with a foam roller. I mean, if you can stand the pain, that works out well. Sitting at my desk and doing a tennis ball, rolling my tennis ball on my foot. I tried stretching. I tried walking less, I tried exercising less. Walking a little bit more, just trying to keep it really stretched and warmed up. But I think it went back to the fact that I just had no idea it was related to how tight my calves were, which makes sense, right? Because I was on my tippy toes quite a bit. And so, yeah, I did pain relievers. I tried, hot and cold. I tried massages. Really tried the whole gamut before I went to Brad for PT and dry needling.
Think back to before you came to see us. How long had you waited before you made the decision to see a PT?
Oh, it was at least probably 6 months. And at the time, I'm not old by any means. I'm almost 35. And so, 2 or 3 years ago, early 30s, thinking, I'm like, I got this, I just need to stretch it out. It's probably just a phase, because I had gone through times before with working out, right? Where if you're working on a certain area, it gets sore and you just got to build that muscle up. But no, definitely, it was at least 6 months. I usually have a pretty high tolerance for pain, and it was I'm just going to get through this. It's going to go away. And then when it never did, and people, to be honest, my husband, I think, got tired of me complaining about being in pain. It was like, will you just go take care of that? That would be great.
Yeah. Were there any other obstacles in coming to see a PT? Was there any fear, uncertainty, any other bad experiences?
No, and I will say that I'm in a good position that, I love my HSA account. I keep that well stocked so I can pay Brad to do PT with me. I think the other thing was just, I think there's a bit of a fear sometimes that, oh my God, what if there's something more to this, right? A lot of people won't, address an issue because they don't want to hear the truth. And I knew it was going to be plantar fasciitis. I was hoping that he wouldn't tell me it was something else. I think, sometimes money can be a barrier, the fear can be a barrier to getting better. But really, the fact that I wanted to be able to function normally pushed me through. And also I got tired of hearing myself complain about being in pain as well. So I think, and then otherwise, sometimes it's just hopping in the car and going over there. I wish I would have gone sooner.
Since you came to see us, what impact have we made on the quality of your life?
Oh my God, I go and see you all the time, I feel like now. I have had two other kind of issues since my plantar fasciitis that Brad's helping me, Brad and Renee have been helping me with. So after plantar fasciitis and doing dry needling, I then ended up after COVID having an issue with my shoulder, my rotator cuff. Evidently, I was trying to, just work out my issues with some weights during COVID, and ended up really kind of straining my rotator cuff. So going to see him really helped with that. I knew that's what it kind of was. Having him be able to actually say, yes, this is the issue you're having. Here's some exercises. I also did some additional dry needling. Having him explain how it actually happened and how all the body and muscles work together and what I need to do to fix that also really helped. And now that that one's pretty much resolved. I'm still working on that a little bit. But with COVID and then hurting myself, I gained the good 10 to 15 pounds, and my hips and glutes evidently don't like that. So I've been seeing Renee lately, Renee and Brad, over some kind of hip and back, some hip flexors, some glute med and max issues. And, it's really pushing me to lose that extra couple pounds too, so I can get to where I don't have to see them. My goal is to not see them. I don't want to, because if I'm seeing them, that means I'm in pain. So I recommend, I think I've sent a couple of people Brad's way as well. Just really, it's nice because it's not treating, it's not treating the pain, it's treating the actual problem. And trying to make sure that gets better and that you're focusing on preventing that in the future as well.
Of all the things you enjoyed about coming to see us, what was one thing that you liked the best?
I think the fact that Brad is so personable, Renee is personable as well. I can always have a conversation with him, which is great. The other thing I would say is Brad's patience for me. The fact that he's able to, take that and be able to still provide a good service is great. I can be a lot at times. But yeah, overall, it's a great environment. The office is extremely nice and neat. The location's great. Renee and Brad are both fantastic providers. Scheduling is fantastic. I believe it's Fonda. Fonda is great to work with and get me scheduled. The other thing is what I loved, to give you an example, I was having some pretty severe pain a couple of weeks ago. And Fonda was able to work in Renee for me to go see Renee before I went on a trip. And then after I came back from the trip, I came back from this trip and had some major muscle spasm in my hips. And she was able to work me in as soon as possible, which was extremely nice.
What would you say to anyone watching this video who is currently skeptical about PT or undecided?
Go do it. Dry needling sounds scary. And by the way, Brad and Renee don't just they do more than dry needling, but you gotta, if you're having issues, go fix it. You don't want to live in pain. Life is short. They're going to not only give you a really good massage, but if you get, giving you tools and tricks on how to stretch and how to fix that problem and what you need to do, suggestions. They're a really good cheerleader. They check in with you. They have great follow-up. Just go do it. It's totally worth it. It's worth it not to be in pain, and they're just great people overall.
Now that you've experienced PT, how would you describe it to your best friend or a family member?
It's probably the best, worst experience ever to go do. It's the worst because it can be painful. You're working through that pain, they're pressing in things and making you uncomfortable. But it's the best because when you leave, you've got to, you're getting better, you're working on making that muscle better, you're working on bettering yourself, and knowing what it is in the future that you need to do to prevent that from happening again. Overall, it's just, it's keeping we're a machine, right? You gotta keep that machine working. You got to keep yourself moving, because if you want to live a long time and be able to move around and live a full life, you got to be able to make your body move along with it.
In one sentence or less, how would you describe your time with Focus Physical Therapy?
The fact that they've been giving me the ability to exercise and focus on myself and make sure that my body is in the best shape that it can be as far as function and motor goes is just probably one of the greatest gifts. Having to operate in pain is not fun, and they help take that away.
Thank you so much. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much.